welcome to Special Stage and the annual return to Wexford for the Riverbank House Hotel Dick Bailey Stages Rally. The Welshman Damien Cole has taken a win here 2 years in a row, and he will try and make that a hat-trick this weekend. He's been making quite a habit of it in 2012. This also counts as the final round of the Tritonshire South East Rally Championship. So the drivers are just relaxing here in Park Fermer before they go out to tackle 12 difficult stages. We'll catch up with a few of them right now. Damien, the last round over in the UK, of course, you scored the hat-trick in the championship. You're back in Wexford this year, third year running, and looking to score a hat-trick here as well.
That's the aim. It'd be lovely to win it 3 years running. We did it in 2010, 2011. We were second in 2009, so it'd be nice to do it again this year. It's a shame that Niall Maguire and Kevin Barrett have pulled out. It would have been nice to battle with them as well this weekend.
You did mention as well, these stages might quite suit your driving style this weekend.
Yeah, the Saturday stages are quite technical, tight and twisty, with a lot of gravel on the junctions. So there's not too many sort of flat-out long straights. The Sunday stages are a bit quicker, so hopefully we'll have a good go at it today.
Well, if anyone was putting bets on this weekend, I think your name would definitely be in the hat, James.
Well, you never know. We'll give it a go. We had a good run on the LMC. We're getting more used to the car now, so we'll have a go. Nobody knows till the end.
These stages are quite technical this weekend, very tight, twisty, gravel on the inside of the corners. Will you like that style of driving?
It's probably worse than me with limited intelligence. So I prefer the faster ones, but, you know, we'll have a go, we'll try. I said the faster ones suit me better. Let's just hope for the best.
Well, James, the event hasn't even begun yet and there's drama here already.
Yeah, every day there's we have a miss. We started the car down. There's a bit of a misfire on it, so we're just hoping to get to the option service now and see can we get sorted. Not really sure what's wrong, but maybe hoping maybe plugs or something that way. So maybe wait and see.
Fingers crossed. It would be very disappointing to exit your home event.
Yeah, well, you'd like to get a couple of stages anyway and see how, but sure, all we can do now is just hope that there's nothing too serious wrong and hope we can get fixed in the optional service. So see what happens.
So for last year's winners, Damien Cole and James Morgan, it would be a good start, taking the lead of the event after stage 2 by just 3 seconds. Cole's lead had only come on stage 2 though, with the lead after stage 1 starting in the hands of James Belton and Mark Glenister in the Impreza, dropping back into second for now. And in third place, just 5 seconds off the lead, were the first of the local crews, James Stafford and cousin James Stafford in the ADRIAN. The top 3 swapping times and setting the trend for the rest of the event. Things wouldn't be going well for Steve Simpson and Patrick Walsh though, as they drop right down to 46th place with a stall on stage 2. They lose a few minutes trying to get the car restarted and further time stuck in the dust of the car ahead, but with a lot more stages to go, it wasn't over yet. For John Dalton and Gwynford Jones, it would be 4th at the end of stage 2. Occasional outings for the pair limited this year to a handful of events, but there was no drop in the places as they tail the local ADRIAN of Stafford ahead. There would be a bit of a gap forming after the top 4 now, and taking up the best of the rest places after stage 2 would be the Corolla of John Hendy and Enda Kennedy, 46 seconds behind Dalton. An overshoot on stage 1 wasn't helping the times for Adrian Hetherington and Gary Nolan, as they finished stage 1 in 9th, but managed to make a move up back to 6th at the end of stage 2. A cautious but well-placed start for Trevor, CULBERT and Ken Blanche would see them in 7th place. And it would be 8th for Liam Howlett and Leo Tector in the Escort, a little advance on their stage 1 time. And level on times with Howlett, and also taking up 8th are Richard Moffett and Martin Conley in the Starlet. And rounding out the top 10 at this stage of the event are Chris Armstrong and Breen McNamee in the Escort. Unfortunately for Michael O'Brien and James O'Brien, it would be a short-lived event as the pair would crash out on stage 2, seen here from on board with Steve Simpson in the following car. We would also lose Gwyn Thomas and Anthony O'Connell, stage 2 being the last time we see the pair as they go out on the following stage. As do Mark Straker and Neil Harrison in the Darien, the Wexford stages claiming 3 of the visiting overseas crews early in the event. So after 2 stages, this is what the top of the various classes were starting to look like. In Class 2 it would be Owen Neville and Cathal McCarthy that take the early class lead, but that wouldn't be the case for long as the pair break a drive shaft on stage 3. Class 3 would be led by Peter Murphy and Darren Deary in the Clio, over a minute ahead of their nearest class rival. Leading Class 4 for Group N cars would be the impressive Brian O'Keefe and Frank Curtin, but they only have a 5-second lead in the class after stage 2. Class 6 would be led by the Clio Super 1600 of Keith Power and Des Moran. Adam Platt and Sean O'Crowley lead Class 7 in the Focus with almost a minute and a half class lead after 2 stages. Class 8 would be dominated by rally leaders Damien Cole and James Morgan in their Focus WRC. The many of John Barry and David Busher end stage 2 on top of Class 9. While in Class 9A it would be the Nova of Kenny O'Brien and Cian Corbett. Class 10 would see a nice close battle, but coming out on top would be Nigel Malloy and Miles Stamp in the Escort, just a 3-second lead at this stage. Joey Carroll and Mark Kerwin lead Class 11 in the Citroen C2 with a 25-second advantage. And in Class 11A, Larry and Lee Murphy open up almost a minute of an advantage in the Escort. JT Warnock and Sharon Darroch have a slim lead of Class 12. And John Hendy and Enda Kennedy, 5th overall, gives them the Class 13 lead. James Stafford heads up the rear-wheel drive crews at the top of Class 14. With Mark Nangle and Nullig Bring taking a 9-second lead in Class 15 after stage 2. So after 2 stages, this is how the top of the results looks. It would be all change at the top over the next couple of stages as James Belton and Mark Glenister jump back into the lead, but the gap was closer than ever, just 1 second advantage after stage 4.
James, just a second between yourself and Damien going into that stage. How did it feel for you?
We took 2 out of him, so 1 up on him coming out of there now.
Now you're happy?
I'm delighted. But it's going to be a long, long rally. It's like second here, second there all the time, so it's going to be hard work. I will look slim when I finished.
So for Damien Cole and James Morgan, it would be down into second place. But with the gap so small and the lead changing hands almost by the stage, the fight was surely not over yet.
But Damien, you had hold of the lead earlier on today. It was taken from you by James Stafford. It's very tight out there.
Yeah, James is going very well. I think the conditions are suiting the ADRIAN today. I'm not sure what we've done through stage 4. We were quicker, about 10 quicker than we were in stage 2.
Did that feel good?
Yeah, it felt good, and it's still a long, long way to go yet.
And getting in on that battle at the top even more now were James and James Stafford. They make a push on stage 3 to take the lead of the event briefly, but a spin on stage 4 means they finish the loop on an identical overall time to Cole to take joint second, just 1 second separating the top 3 overall now.
We had a misfire this morning, but it was only down to a bad plug, that's all. So at the moment we're going alright anyway, so we'll try and keep it that way.
Do you feel like you are driving maximum attack, or do you have more to give?
Well, I'm going almost as 9 tenths, 9.5 tenths maybe. But no, I'd say we're nearly to the max now. I think we're going nearly as hard as we can go.
For John Dalton and Gwynford Jones, it would still be fourth in the Darien, just 37 seconds back on Stafford after 4 stages.
John, you've squeezed into the top 5, still so tight at the top.
Yeah, it's very quick today. The top boys are putting up a great performance, and fair play to James. He's showing how ADRIAN should be driven, and he's doing really well. So we're just seeing what we can do.
No problems for John, Hendy and Enda Kennedy as they continue to hold on to their 5th place. But the gap to the top 4 was getting bigger now.
Well, how did that second test over Old Town go?
Not too bad, not too bad. No major dramas, no problems, so we're okay.
Are you finding that slippery surface from the tar?
Slippery in places, yes. Slippery in places, yes, there is, no doubt. But it's going okay, fine.
Unfortunately, stage 4 would see a drop from 6th place for Adrian Hetherington and Gary Nolan as they crash in the stage and lose a few minutes. The team will have some serious work to do in service now to get the car back out for the final stages today.
Adrian, not a good sight. We can see the battle scars here. What happened?
Slight mishap there, and I ran us tight 6 left. 6 right? 6 right. Just lost it, went to a wall, hit a wall, took a 3 down. Very lucky to get out.
That would have been a hard impact.
It was a hard impact,
You lost a lot of time?
Say we lost about maybe 5 minutes, didn't we? 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes.
Getting used to the stages on the second run through now and climbing up the results are Liam Howlett and Leo Tector. They move up into 6th place at the end of stage 4. A faster second pass of these stages too for Trevor, Culbert and Ken Blanche in the Escort. It wouldn't be any change in 8th for Richard Moffett and Martin Connolly as they still head up the Moffett family battle this weekend. Chris Armstrong and Bring McNamee cash in on the shake-up above them and move up into 9th place now. While Maurice Moffett and Jason McKenna round out the top 10 and close in on that family battle. Over halfway through day 1 and the top 10 looks like this. With just 1 second separating the top of the results going into the final stages of the day, things would amazingly get even closer as Damien Cole and James Morgan pull back that 1 second from Belton to end day 1 on the exact same time at the end of the day's 6 stages.
Absolutely flat left and flat right, don't lift, 250. Turn right 5 round bales at the end, wide exit. 60 flat left, 100 flat right, 60 right 1, this is very fast, the beer commit, 40 flat right, continues for 80, go on, go, stay left, there's a chicane and the left, cut in.
So for sometimes rally leader James Belton and Mark Glenister, they would have to go to bed on day 1 sharing that top spot with Cole. But with the faster stages tomorrow, it could be an advantage for Belton with his no fear approach. Unfortunately for James Stafford and James Stafford, it would be 3rd place at the end of day 1, and the gap now at 8 seconds, the biggest it had been all day. This was down to a stall towards the end of the final test of the day, after coming a little too hot into this left-hander.
Leave the handbrake alone. Couldn't buckle. Yeah, but get with the handbrake. Shouldn't turn engine. Watch us up here now. Front square left. 100 flat, 1 right. 130 crest. Chicane down here now. Chicane. Just keep your head on the road now. Yeah, flat 2 left.
For the Welsh team of John Dalton and Gwynfor Jones, it would still be 4th overall, just 50 seconds back on Stafford, unable to make any more time on the top 3, but holding a good pace to keep up with the leaders. And for John Hendy and Enda Kennedy, it would be more of the same. Some time lost to the top few, and the gap now over 3 minutes. But it would be the same for everyone below them, with only 20 seconds separating the rest of the top 10 at this stage. All change in the MOFFETT battle now, as Maurice Moffett and Jason McKenna jump ahead and take 6th place. No change for Trevor, Culbert and Ken Blanche, as they remain in 7th place at the end of day 1. And the final stages of the day would see a great comeback for Steve Simpson and Patrick Walsh, as they climbed their way back up from 46th place up into 8th. For Richard Moffett and Martin Conley, it's a little drop down the order into 9th overall. While Chris Armstrong and Bring McNamee drop a little over this loop, but still round out the top 10 at the end of the day.
Overall, a good day at the office for you as well, Damien, but what a battle. This is exciting stuff.
Can't go any closer. We're dead equal after a whole day of rallying 6 long stages. So it's going to be a very competitive day tomorrow, because I don't want to lose, and neither does Jamie Belton.
Neither does James Stafford. I mean, this is his home event, and he really wants to take a win tomorrow as well.
Yeah, he dropped back a little bit on the last stage because I think he stalled somewhere in the middle of the stage. I think the stages tomorrow probably might suit his car a bit better than today because they're a bit faster, but it is supposed to rain tomorrow, which I think will obviously hamper his chances more than the two-wheel rally cars.
Will you need to change any of your tactics for tomorrow if you want to take that win?
Just need to go a second faster than we gone today, really.
I think everyone will agree, James, this is the tightest battle we've seen all year.
It has been tough. It's been just swap a second here, swap a second there, and I believe that we're dead level at the end of the night between Damien and myself, with James Stafford then anything between 3 and 7 behind. I mean, somebody just said now he was about 6 or 7 behind, but we don't know yet, but hard work.
Are there any tactics that you've been using today that you think, yeah, I need to do a wee bit of more of that tomorrow?
Well, no, today's stages don't really suit me because I'm still learning the car. They're a bit more technical, so I'm getting better in the car. So to where we are today, we're delighted because tomorrow should suit me with the faster stages, but tomorrow I might make an ass of it.
Going into that final stage today, a tie break between yourself and Mr. Cole. However, a bit of a mishap there on stage 6.
Yeah, the third last junction there, we came into there a little bit too strong, and the back of us stepped out and we clipped the ditch and stalled the car, and we lost about, maybe 10 seconds, something thereabouts. So we're back down to 3rd overall now again.
You have to admit, though, it has been a good day at the office here for you in Wexford.
Oh no, we're happy out now at the moment. If we can keep it up tomorrow now, we should be able to give the boys a good old go for tomorrow, because the stages are even a bit faster and it might suit the Darien a bit better if it stays dry, you know. So we'll have to see what happens tomorrow.
So at the end of the day, there are a few changes at the top of the classes. All change in Class 2 with the loss of Owen Novell, as we see Barry Barron and Alex Cooney take over the lead in that class at the end of day 1. No change in Class 3 though, as Peter Murphy and Darren Deary continue a good run in the Clio, now a 3-minute lead in the class. Class 4 would also remain in the hands of Brian O'Keefe and Frank Curtin in the Impreza. 34 seconds now separates them from second in that class. No change for Keith Power and Des Moran in the Clio, as they hold the lead overnight in Class 6. In Class 7 it would be a massive relief for Adam Platt and Sean O'Crowley, as their closest class rival drops to over 13 minutes behind the Focus pair at the end of the day. The Class 8 battle, as we saw, was dead level, with Damien Cole and James Morgan sharing that top spot with James Belton and Mark Glenister going into day 2. The mini of John Barry and David Busher would be all that was left of Class 9 by the end of day 1. While in Class 9A, Kenny O'Brien and Cian Corbett keep the Nova at the top of the class with a 4-minute lead now. Nigel Malloy and Miles Stamp extend their Class 10 lead from 3 seconds to 6 seconds now, still close at the end of day 1. Joey Carroll and Mark Kerwin continue their dominance of Class 11 in the C2. Class 11A changes hands in the afternoon as David Moffett and Eamon Hayes take up the lead of the class, pushing Larry Murphy down to second. While we lose JT Warnock from Class 12, and first in the class is taken by Porrick Sheridan and Sean Brunton. John Hendy and Enda Kennedy continue to hold the Class 13 lead into day 2, just 10 seconds of a lead though. And despite the stall, it's still the Class 14 lead for James and James Stafford. And in Class 15, Mark Nagel and Nullig Breen net themselves a 6-minute cushion going into day 2. So at the end of day 1, here is a reminder of that close battle at the top of the leaderboard.
The drivers have returned to the racecourse here in Wexford for the final service of the day, and what a battle we have seen today. I don't think we've seen anything like it in 2012 so far. That lead has been swapping hands all day between James Stafford, James Belton and Damien Cole. But who wants it most? Join us after the break for day 2 of the Dick Bailey Wexford Stages Rally. Brian, heading into day 2 now, you do have that class lead. Was it a smooth cruise to the top yesterday?
It was really, yeah, but I suppose we'd be pushing on a bit more today, you know, just bidding in, you know. Because I had a big accident there last March, and so I'm only kind of bidding back into the car, like, you know. So it's going grand, you know.
Made it through day 1. How about to tackle day 2, Keith? And you do have that class lead at the moment, so you want to stay there.
Yeah, we'll be trying, all right, but today's stages are a bit quicker now than yesterday's. Yesterday's were more kind of technical, all right, or real tight kind of twisty ones. Today we just wouldn't have the top end for it, but we'll give it a lash now and keep trying and keep pushing on it. Hopefully get through today anyway. That's the main thing, just try and get through it.
No big dramas yesterday apart from that misfire yesterday morning?
No, it didn't really slow us down a whole lot. Maybe on the second stage a bit more than the first, but no, we got it cured in service now, and everything was perfect after that, and just everything went well after that. Then I can't go any harder yesterday, so that's about it's about as fast as I can go, really. That's about it.
Involved as a sponsor, but also a competitor here this weekend, Paul, and it is the 20th year to be involved.
Yeah, that's right, Bree. It's 20th year between myself and my father, so all going well. We'll get to the finish this evening. No major dramas yesterday, so we'll keep it going straight and narrow anyway.
Well, you're halfway there. You've made it through day 1, so how was that for you?
Day 1 was lovely. The weather was very, very hot yesterday, but this morning we don't know what it's going to do, whether it's going to rain or stay dry, so hopefully it'll stay dry and get to the finish anyway.
Day 2 at the Dick Bailey Wexford Stages Rally, and the competitors are just leaving Park Fermo once again to go out and tackle another 6 stages. It's very tight at the top with James Belton and Damien Cole equal on times. James Stafford is hot on their heels. Back to the action on the stages.
With a different set of stages for day 2, it would be a chance for James and James Stafford to make a push back up the results after the day 1 stall. And they do just that, taking the lead of the event on stage 8 by 7 seconds.
200. That's it. 2 right, 200. 2 fast, 1 right, late 2 left fast. 1 right, late 2 left, 150. 1 right, 100. Long 2 left, 200 fast turn square left. Long 2 left, yeah. Sorry, go on. Now turn fast square left. That she feels good. 300. That's it. Perfect. Now caution 2 right into 4 right. Let's show you it hard. 2 right, 4 right. Yeah, 2 right, 4 right. 40 to 5 left and 4 right. 5 left here now. And 4 right. 130. Turn fast square right, red roof. Turn fast square right.
James, it's going well so far for you.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, we're still going anyway. Stages are still staying dry, so I'm happy enough so far.
For Damien Cole and James Morgan, it would be second place, briefly taking the lead on stage 7 before the big push from Stafford, but they had now moved away from James Belton, if only by 1 second.
Keep it on now. Go on. Flat left, 150. Right 3 opens. Go on, go on. Right 3 opens. 40, turn right 5, gravel, don't cut. Just flick it in. Go on. Go on, go. And long flat left, 40, flat right. 100, right 1 continues for 80, narrows. 60, long flat right tightens, 80.
Back to a 1 second split between yourself and James Belton.
Yeah, we took the lead on stage 7 and then lost it to James Stafford on stage 8. So it seems to be the same as yesterday. It's the lead's changing back and forth on every stage.
Keeping it exciting.
Yeah, we had an overshoot on stage 7, which was a pity because I think we lost probably between 5 and 10 seconds. So we would have had a really good time otherwise, but had a good run through stage 8, but didn't seem as quick.
Clearly the early morning concentration was something James Belton and Mark Glenister were missing on day 2. Caught off guard a little as they dropped down to 3rd. A couple of moments in stage 8 showing just how hard the pair were pushing though, not giving up on that win at all.
There. 400, handbrake. Okay, 400, keep it calm now. Crest into, 2 right at push, 80. So repeat, crest, 2 right at push, 80. Flat, 5 right, 200. Flat, 5 right, 200.
I was tired. It's 2 days. I haven't done one for about 6 years. I was a bit sleepy on the first one. But the second one now, we had 2 spins, but we still took 5 out of Damien, so I'm back alive.
Great, still 4 stages to go, of course.
Yeah, there's still a long way to go. It's, you know, we're 1 second apart again, so it's going to be a long, long day.
Improvements too for John Dalton and Gwynford Jones on the morning stages. The gap to 3rd now getting closer, down to just 26 seconds.
John, did you have a second fastest time on one of those stages this morning?
I have no idea. We've just been having fun. Just enjoying it, listening to the little man here, spouting out the notes, and we're just having a great time. Brilliant stages, yeah.
You were hot off the block.
Yeah, well, that was Darien. Those were Darien stages, if ever there was. And I don't know what times we've done, but hopefully we've done all right. Not disgrace ourselves.
Day 2 would be productive too for Steve Simpson and Patrick Walsh as they claw back a little more time and move up into 5th. Still almost 4 minutes behind Dalton though at this stage, but an amazing comeback to get this far up the order.
Mr. Simpson, you've crawled your way back up the leaderboard to 5th.
Are we 5th now? That's good. Not bad from 47th on 2nd stage, so happy with that now. I don't think we can get any further though, so we'll just have to play the game now.
You can enjoy yourself for the rest of the day.
We are doing.
The bottom half of the top 10 would take a shake-up too, and for Trevor, Culbert and Ken Blanche it would be a move up into 6th.
Well, Trevor, you haven't fallen victim yet either. It's still going well for you.
Still going well. We're very consistent. We're having a spin on every stage, so we're very consistent. But yeah, John Hendy had a bit of an off on the first stage, and he was leading class 13. But we're joint first in class after that first stage with Chris Armstrong. So it's a good battle going on. Good fun.
Chris Armstrong and Breen McNamee also make a move back up the results to end stage 8 in 7th overall.
Joint class leader at the minute, Chris, so they're all saying you're the new kid on the block.
Oh, I don't know now. We're just happy to be here at the minute. We had a few close ones in that last stage, so if we can hold it together now, we'll be happy.
It would be all change again for the Moffetts as Richard Moffett and Martin Connolly jump back up a place into 8th.
Richard, to add to the rest of the Moffetts, you had your troubles yesterday as well.
Yeah, we had our troubles yesterday. We actually got away okay. The clutch went just at the end of stage 3. We just had a leak in the pipe, but we managed to get through the road section. We got through the next stage, got pushed off the line and didn't lose too much, so we were happy enough. And then this morning we've had a couple of cleans run through there, but the pace is very quick behind us, so see how we go.
Maurice Moffett and Jason McKenna don't have as much luck to start day 2 and drop down to 9th overall.
Well, Maurice, were those stages any better this morning?
Sure, I always need some excuse. John Hendy went off in front of us and I lost me rhythm a bit, and there's a few young fellas behind. I don't know what we're going to do about them, but we're having fun.
Is Richard still keeping the pressure on you?
Yes, very much so.
And day 2 sees Shea Power and John Rafter rounding out the top 10 at the end of stage 8. Unfortunately, this loop of stages would be the last time we see John Hendy and Enda Kennedy as they retire with a misfire on the car, a problem that won't have been made any better by the damage suffered from a trip into one of the ditches. So the start of a new day brings more changes in the classes, starting with a new leader in Class 2 as David Clearley and Padraig Denton end Stage 8 as the only crew left in that class. Class 3 would remain the same with Peter Murphy and Darren Deary, continuing well to add another 40 seconds to their class lead. Brian O'Keefe and Frank Curtin maintain the lead of Class 4 as the leading Group N crew. While Keith Power and Des Morgan extend their class lead to over 2 minutes now in Class 6. Adam Platt and Sean O'Crowley continue to dominate Class 7 with a 15-minute advantage now. And in Class 8 it would be Damien Cole and James Morgan that hold that number 1 spot on their own now. The mini of John Barry and Dave Busher continues as the only Class 9 runner. While the Class 9A leaders Kenny O'Brien and Cian Corbett remain where they finished day 1 with an extra minute added to their advantage now. Class 10 would change hands at the top with new leaders John Ford and Eamon Creedon ending Stage 8 with a 31-second lead in the class. And in Class 11 we see Joey Carroll and Mark Kirwan hold on to that class lead by 2 minutes now. David Moffett and Eamon Hayes continue to lead Class 11A, but the demise of a few cars in the class means a 14-minute lead for the pair now, and a win was looking good. Class 12 changes hands once again. This time Kieran McKay and Kevin Malone managed to jump up into that top spot with a 9-second lead. And for Trevor, Culbert and Ken Blanche, it would be the Class 13 lead that they inherit due to the problems suffered by John Hendy on this loop of stages. Our rally leaders James and James Stafford continue to rule Class 14. And no change in Class 15 either, as Mark Nangle and Nullig Breen extend to a 7.5-minute class lead after that stage. Day 2 would see the junior rally following the main field, and after 2 stages it would still be close at the top, with Dean Rafferty and Aileen Kelly taking an early but slim advantage in the lead of the juniors. A lead of only 7 seconds to second place Leon Galvin and Ger Foley, who despite fastest times had picked up a 30-second road penalty and dropped them down to second place. Cal and Conor McCarthy would end the morning's 2 stages in third place, 25 seconds behind Galvin. And a good clean run helped Andrew Beamish and Cathal Quill stay ahead of the higher powered cars behind them in fourth place. The top 5 juniors were rounded off by Shane Keneally and Eamon Hart in the Civic. Unfortunately, Stage 9 would see the top of the results take its most dramatic turn of the weekend, as James Belton and Mark Glenister crash out of the event over this jump, causing the stage to be blocked and subsequently cancelled, and the crews headed straight into Stage 10.
Okay, we're going to need to get out.
Oh, what an unfortunate retirement, James.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I mean, Melvin thinks it was a shaft went because it was a chicane, small jump, and as we came off the jump it just shot left, so bugger. End of.
It could have been a win here this weekend. It's going to be disappointing travelling back this evening. It's all gone.
It could have been. You never know. We'll never know now. I mean, we were a bit asleep on the first stage. Second stage we pushed on, had 2 spins, but at a reasonable time, and went for it on that last one, but such is life.
A quick reminder now of the top 10 going into the final stages of the event. So as the event draws to a close for another year, this is how the results look at the end of the Wexford Stages 2012. In the juniors we would see some changes to the top 5, with 5th going to Philip MacDonald and Seamus Curran. Shane Keneally and Eamon Hart would gain a place and finish the event in 4th, while Darren Young and Sean Walsh would have a great run to finish in 3rd. Cal and Conor McCarthy gain a place to finish in 2nd, just 19 seconds behind winners Dean Rafferty and Aileen Kelly. In the classes, it would be no change for Class 2, as David Clearly and Padraig Denton remain the only runners and take the top spot. In Class 3, it would be a 6.5 minute gap that separates runner-up Joan Lacey and Edel McCarthy from class winners Peter Murphy and Darren Deary. Class 4 would see the Group N winners Brian O'Keefe and Frank Curtin take victory of over 10 minutes in the class from Paddy Murphy and Neil Mulholland. Andy and John Hayes find the Saxo no match for the power of the Super 1600 Clio of Class 6 winners Keith Power and Des Morgan. In Class 7, it would be Noel Coogan and Mick Cody that take the runner-up spot, some way behind the focus of Adam Platt and Sean O'Crowley. Just the one finisher in Class 9, as John Barry and David Busher take the top honours. Eamon Bates and James Sinnott take 2nd in Class 9A, just over 6 minutes behind the Nova of Kenny O'Brien and Cian Corbett. A close battle in Class 10 sees Victor and Susan Beamish finish just 23 seconds behind John Ford and Eamon Creedon. Simon Reid and James Dunphy finished 2nd in Class 11, 5 minutes behind class leaders Joey Carroll and Mark Kerwin. And in Class 11A, Joey LACEY and Mary Tynan are the only of the two finishers in the class behind eventual winners David MOFFETT and Eamon Hayes. Just one finisher in Class 12, so the award goes to Padraig Sheridan and Sean Brunton. And in Class 15, it would be a big gap between second place Gemma Curley and Lynn Martin, finishing behind class winners Mark Nangle and Nullig Breen. On to the overall results now and a look of how the top 10 was decided. We lose Adrian Hetherington and Gary Nolan in the final stage as the pair have a low-speed accident and break the steering on the Escort. A disappointing end after a good climb back up the results. So still rounding off our top 10 at the end of the event are Shea Power and John Rafter in the Escort. Liam Harlett and Leo Tector pick up 1 minute and 15 second road penalty, but that doesn't change the 9th place finish at the end of the event. A good finish for Chris Armstrong and Breen McNamee as they end the event in 8th overall. A good fight through the weekend though, having been up as high as 5th at one point. Trevor Culbert and Ken Blanche miss out on the class win by just 1 second to finish in 7th overall. Beating Culbert to that class victory and the 6th place were Richard Moffett and Martin Conley. And at the end of 2 days of rallying, it would be a dead level finish for Maurice Moffett and Jason McKenna as they finish in 5th, equaling the times overall by Richard Moffett. Following the amazing comeback, it would be a 4th overall for Steve Simpson and Patrick Walsh, a finish more than they could have hoped for midway through day 1. On to the podium places then, and in 3rd place it would be John Dalton and Gwynford Jones, just over a minute off the pace at the end of the event, but keeping well ahead of the rest of the field throughout the event. And for last year's winner, it sadly wouldn't be a hat-trick for Damien Cole and James Morgan. The close battle all weekend between the top 3 drivers had been exciting, and at the end of the event it was down to just 16 seconds once again. But for this year at least, second place was as good as the pair could manage. And for James Stafford and cousin James Stafford, it would be a well-deserved and well-celebrated win in front of their home crowd. The Darien driver defying the weather in the rear-wheel drive car to take victory at the end of the 2012 Riverbank House Hotel Dick Bailey stages here in Wexford.
James, you commented before that one of your most memorable wins was in Ravens Rock. I think as a Wexford man and winning the Wexford Stages Rally, this may have topped that. Would I have guessed right?
Oh, you better guessing right, Brie. That is at the top of it big time. Been waiting a long time to win this rally. I always that was my main aim was to win the home event. And the last 2 years we had mechanical failures both years in a row, and just third time lucky.
I'm sure looking at the entry list at the beginning of this event and seeing all the WRCs that had entered, did you think that the Darien was capable of a win here?
Well, what an idea if the weather stayed dry. We knew we were going to be up against stiff opposition, and it wasn't going to be easy either way. But just lucky the way the thing came. Now there's a couple of retirements, and unfortunately James Belton had an off today, and you know that he was going well, and you know, he would have put big pressure on us there. But that's just the way things go sometimes, you know.
Well, Damien, you came over here to get the hat trick. It didn't work. You're sandwiched between 2 Dariens. It's not where you wanted to be.
No, we've had a great weekend though, and in fairness to James, he drove very well through stage 10 when it tipped down with rain and we were all stuck on slicks. So just for his performance on that stage, I think he deserves a win. He took 23 seconds out of us in one stage and he won the rally by 16. So we pushed hard through the last loop at 2 and took a bit of time back, but it was too little too late.
It's not going to put you off though. I'm sure you will be back here in Wexford next year.
No, the last 4 years we've been second, first, second, so we'll have to come back and have another go at it next year.
Extremely popular winners amongst friends, family, followers and fellow motor club members. James Stafford and cousin James Stafford take the win here today. 16 seconds victory ahead of last year's winner Damien Cole. Congratulations to them. We enjoyed the action here in Wexford, and hopefully we'll be back here, same place, same time next year for the 42nd year running of this event. See you then.